Areas such as Berkeley and East Bay Hills have firefighters and residents on high alert tonight. That's where we find Crown 4's Dan Thorn. He joins us live from Berkeley with the latest. Dan.
Well, Pam and Jonathan, this red flag warning started at 11 o'clock last night and runs through 5 p.m. tomorrow evening. Fire officials say that they're keeping an eye on higher elevations like here in the Berkeley Hills, where the wind is expected to be whipping up, and that creates that high fire danger. The biggest concern is if a fire were to break out, these winds would cause it to spread very quickly. There is a lot of dry vegetation in these areas, which is fuel for a fast-moving fire. Residents in the Berkeley Hills are told to be ready in situations like this by having go bags in case there is a need to evacuate, and while also taking some other safety precautions. Red flag days have become increasingly concerning for residents, especially as we are dealing with extremely dry conditions and drought conditions. Areas in the hills are also densely populated, and the roads can be challenging to access in case of an emergency. Officials are telling people to be aware, and they too are beefing up staff.
We have every engine company that is normally stationed throughout the year up in the hills. They are out throughout the day and evening doing roving patrols, extra patrols for hours at a time. Everybody's basically prepared during a red flag to react extra quick to try and get a knock on these things.
Each one we should take more serious. I mean, climate change is here to stay, and we just got to help our kids prepare for it.
Well, some of the residents that we talked to up here, including that gentleman, tell us that they are always ready in case of an emergency. It's become a regular way of life up here. People are also urged during red flag warnings to not do anything that could spark a fire, such as barbecues, burning, or any yard work with any heavy equipment. Again, this area is extremely vulnerable to wildfire, so of course, follow what officials say. Be prepared. Make sure that you have things set up. Make sure that you mitigate any risks that are around your home, such as making sure that there's any clearing of brush. Also, be aware of any dead trees or whatnot, and make sure that if you are told to leave, that you do heed those warnings and get out in case of an emergency. That's the latest here live in the Berkeley Hills. Dan Thorn, Crown 4 News.
Thank you, Dan. Well, now to our 4-zone weather forecast. We might as well check things out in light of this fire alert that we all have to be just so careful right now. This is looking out from our camera atop Mount Tamalpais, and it looks hazy, but there's no rain in those little clouds up there.
Yeah, but it is shaking, though, just to talk a little bit about the wind gusts that we're seeing and how strong they are. Right now, Chief Meteorologist Lawrence Karnow here tonight with a look at what we can expect moving into the evening hours.
Yeah, we've seen some gusts of almost 50 miles per hour already.
Wow.
We may exceed that overnight tonight. We could see some 60, maybe some 70-mile-an-hour gusts. So historically, this is one of the most dangerous times of the year for fires here in the Bay Area. Got to be extremely careful, especially these next 24 hours. Fire conditions running very high. Bluster, you can see the tree blowing in the wind there out at SFO and all around the Bay Area. Maybe driving to work today, you saw a little debris out on the highway as well. Yeah, those winds have really been whipping. We've got wind watches up across much of the Bay Area, and all those areas shaded in red. Those are red flag warnings that have now been posted in the North Bay. Strong gusty winds there, maybe the strongest winds. In fact, this area right here near St. Helena and Napa, that's going to be the area probably with the strongest winds, maybe 60, maybe some 70+ mile-an-hour gusts. Also, Mount Diablo, you can get gusts almost as high as that as well. So blustery there, but that continues now. And the National Weather Service actually added the Santa Cruz Mountains into the red flag warnings as well. That continues until 5 p.m. on Tuesday. Those winds really whipping around outside right now. You can see all that northerly component of the wind continue to howl across California, not just the Bay Area. And overnight tonight, as we head through time, these winds are going to continue to roll on through, and with that, that means we're going to see some gusty conditions to overnight tonight into tomorrow morning. But then some of the urban areas, we may actually see those winds subside. I'd watch out toward the middle of the day tomorrow. It looks like another round of some very strong gusty winds, and then by tomorrow afternoon, more of an onshore breeze begins to kick in. But this is that time of year without any rain just yet. Fire danger running extremely high. Very dangerous fire conditions for tonight.